Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the approaches of finance. That is, there are two approaches of finance: traditional and modern approach. So, before that, you should understand the meaning of finance. And finance, you can say it's art and science of managing the money. And that is, without finance, business is nothing. You can say it's a blood of the business. That is, the finance is required for whether it is a small business or medium or large enterprises, and there must be an a requirement of finance. So that we have the two approaches, that is traditional approach and modern approach. Here I am going to tell you that what is traditional approach and a modern approach to the finance. So that is first one, I am going to tell you that traditional approach, that the financial management undergone notable changes over the years with regard to its scope and areas of coverage. At the same time, the financial manager's role also undergone fundamental changes over the years. The study of the changes that have taken places over the year is known as the scope of financial management. So, in order to have an easy understanding and better expansion to the changes, it is necessary to divide the scope into the two approaches. That is, we can say that first one is traditional approach and second one is a modern approach. And this traditional approach was popular in early stage, limited the role of financial management arising administration of funds needed by the corporate enterprises to meet their financial needs, deals with the following aspects. So that we can say that traditional approach is related to the arrangement of funds from the financial institutions and arrangement of funds through financial instruments like shares, debentures, etc., and then looking after the legal and accounting relationship between the corporation and its sources of funds. So that the finance manager had a limited role to perform. So only that traditional approach is related to arrangement of funds and arrangement of instruments and the legal and accounting relationship between the corporation. So that we can say it's a limited role to perform the financial manager, and he has expected to keep accurate financial records and prepare records on the corporation status and performance and manage cash in a way that a corporation was in a position to pay its bill on time. So that the finance was used to place of the present term like financial management. So then that the traditional approach have a number of limitations to following this traditional approach, and these are, so first we can say as external approach and ignored retained problems and ignored non-corporate enterprises and ignored working capital financing and no emphasis on applications of funds. So that it's you can say a traditional approach is related to external approach, that is the approach treated as the subject finance only from the point of view of suppliers of funds, that is outsiders, bankers, investors, etc. So it followed an outsiders looking in approach and not in an inside looking out approach, since it is a completely ignored the viewpoint of those who had the taken internal financing decision. So that is, I can say, is one of the main drawback of traditional approach. And next we can say that it ignored retained problems, so that the subject of the financial was mainly confined to the financial problems arising during the courses of incorporation, mergers, etc., and the subject didn't give any importance to day-to-day financial problems of the business. So whatever that is, we have implementing that planned and we are not considering that day-to-day operations. So this is also, we can say, is one of the limitations of traditional approach. And next we can say is ignored non-corporate enterprises. So this approach focused mainly on the financial problems of corporate enterprises. So whatever problems this is focusing only the problems of the enterprises. So that it is ignored non corporate enterprises, and then it's ignored the working capital financing. That short time survival is possible only the management of working capital. So in that, suppose if you go for the traditional approach, and that approach ignored the day-to-day operation of the business. And next we can say no emphasis on applications of funds. So the problems related to the financing short-term or working capital were ignored in this approach. The approach focuses mainly on the problems of long-term financing, and this approach confirmed the financial manager only to the procurement of funds. It didn't emphasize on the allocations of funds. So that in this absence of the coverage of this crucial aspect, the traditional approach implied a very narrow scope for financial management. So that a modern approach provides a solution to these shortcomings. So all those limitations will not be in a modern approach. Let me discuss about modern approach. So modern approach is related to the financial management, and provides a conceptual and analytical framework for the financial decision making. That it means that finance function covers both acquisition of funds as well as their allocation. The new approach view the term financial management in a broader sense. It is viewed as an integral part of the overall management. So that the new approach is analytical way of viewing the financial problems of a firm. The main content of the modern approach are what is the total volume of funds an enterprises should commit, and what specific assets should an enterprise acquire, how should the funds required to be financed, and that financial manager in the modern sense of the term. And these are the considered in a modern approach. And then the modern sense of term of can be divided into four major decisions functions of they are that first you can say it's a investment decision, and second you can say it's a financing decision, and third dividend policy decision, and fourth funds required decision. So the functions of financial manager may be classified on the basis of liquidity, profitability, and management. In a modern approach, that functions of financial management may be divided into liquidity and profitability and management. And this liquidity means it's ascertained on the basis of three important considerations, that is forecasting cash flows and raising funds and managing the flow of internal funds. And this profitability, ascertaining the profitability, the following factors are the cost control, pricing, forecasting future profit, measuring cost of capital. So these are the considered of profitability. And also that we are managing the management, and management is asset has assumed an important role in a financial management. It includes the management of long-term funds and the management of short-term funds. So apart from this main function, that mentioned above, the following subsidiary functions are also found by the financial management. And considering the modern financial management is related to determining the financial needs and determining the sources of funds, financial analysis, optimum capital structure, cost volume profit analysis, profit planning and control, fixed asset management, project planning and evaluation, capital budgeting, working capital management, dividend policies, and acquisition and merger. So that in the modern financial management is related to this all these functions. So that if you go for the modern financial management means, and we can control the our business enterprises, and that will be better for our business for determining the capital structure and sources of funds, profit analysis, and fixed asset management and working capital management. Thank you.